Well, hi there, soccer fans, and welcome to another edition of Onside. And as you will have seen in the past couple of weeks, things have been firing along very nicely. These guys, professionals at their game, they know exactly what's going on. Let me welcome Delron Buckley. Nice to have you in the studio again.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're running off to go and coach. You can't even do the whole show. Go and coach some rats and mice soccer team. What's going on there?
Yeah, at the moment, we're good on top form. We played two games.
My apologies.
Yeah. We played won two games. We're probably first on the league, and we're trying to get back into the PSL.
And how's it looking?
It's looking very good. As you said, I have to leave every show and go back to the first team and train them. So I'm trying to put all my knowledge into the team for them to produce every game.
Well, obviously it's going well, and congratulations, and we wish you well. We look forward to seeing you up at the top of the league and in the PSL next year. AmaZulu, we've got to have a team. KwaZulu-Natal got to have a team in the top flight,
Yes, of course,
Maritzburg
definitely.
United, not a team. But on that point, nice to have you as well.
Pleasure.
What's up?
No, nothing.
Man United. I see you're a bit nervous today because Man United are playing tonight. Obviously, this show's going to be flighted after this.
Yeah.
But playing tonight, you must be very nervous.
Tea Room Cup, as it's known to all the United boys, but got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you're trying to get in the top flight again as well.
It could be the only way we get in the Champions League by winning this. But I know Rooney's not going, which I think will be a plus. I think Rashford will start. He'll mix and match the players.
I think Rashford should start every time.
More than likely will, but he'll start tonight.
Okay, well, let's go and just have a look at what we've got. But just before we go there, I must tell you, in computer form, I was going through the big TAB winners. And obviously, these guys have tipped pretty well, because if you look through there, you'll see a soccer 13 for 460 Rand. A guy won 423,000 Rand. Now, we know that our prices are in that range, so our boys are going to give you the info. Let's go and have a look at the England Premier League. We've got a lot of games. We're going to chat about them, and let's kick off with Chelsea-Liverpool, Budge.
Yeah, Friday night kick-off, strangely.
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock our time. John Terry isn't playing, so I think David Luiz comes in at centre-half. There'll be goals in this. Has to be.
Good game?
Oh, it should be a thriller. Liverpool have got one way of playing. They have to play aggressively and they go forward. The defence is dodgy. They've got a good record at Chelsea as well.
Delron, how do you see it coming out?
Well, I see that Liverpool, their last game they played was very good. There's a lot of counter-attacking football they're playing, and there's goals being scored. So it's going to be a tight game against Chelsea.
Probably a game worth watching on Friday night, even if you're not a supporter. It will be a good game of football, won't it?
Should be, yeah.
How do you see the result?
The draw is a big play. I'm going to go draw Liverpool. No, my United mates won't be in agreement with that. But Liverpool away from home, and the counter-attack, I think they'll catch Chelsea.
What does the stats say, Delron? You're the stats man.
Yeah, well, the stats, if you look at the Liverpool, the last 10 away games, they won 4, drew 2, and lost 4. So I think Liverpool's going to go there and try win this game. And it's about time that Chelsea loses a game too.
Okay, well, we're stepping up to the plate on Friday night. It's well worth watching. That's at 9 o'clock on Friday night. Let's go to the next game. Leicester, the champions, up against Burnley. Budge?
I think this could be the upset of the weekend for me. I watched them last night. Superb performance. I don't know whether the Premiership coming back on a Saturday against Burnley, a struggling team, who are going to park the bus. I don't know if that's going to suit Leicester or not. I think they used plenty of energy last night. Enthusiastic, first Champions League game. They were impressive.
Yeah, they were.
I think coming back, I'm always sceptical about these teams coming back from a night in Europe.
How do you see it, Delron?
Well, Leicester, the last game they played, you saw against Hull City, in the last minute they conceded the equaliser. So it's going to be very difficult for Burnley now to play Leicester. Leicester's on top form. As Budgie said, they played very well. And it's going to be a tight shave.
Okay, looks like a tight game. The draw might be the answer in a game like that. West Brom, West Ham, the two Wests.
Desperation game, yeah.
Both at the bottom. Yeah.
I think this guy loses, West Brom get beat today, Pulis could be gone. Apparently they've lined up somebody. Roy Hodgson supposedly lined up. He managed them prior. They got beat at Bournemouth on Saturday, 1-0. He came out and had a go at the chairman, the players that they signed he didn't want. And I just don't know, it just doesn't seem like things are happening at West Brom. Fortunately, they're very good set piece-wise. And West Ham, we saw them last week. They were non-existent in defence against Watford. It's a close game. You know, I'm tempting to go West Ham, but the draw is a big player again.
If you wanted to have a bet, maybe the bet is Pulis to be the first manager sacked.
Well, I think he's odds on now.
Oh, is he? Okay, well, we missed out on that part, Delron. So we missed that stat.
Yeah, well, West Brom, they 12th on the Premiership, and they're 2 points in front of West Ham. So it's going to be a very high-pressure game. It's a do or die. So both teams want to win.
So maybe the draw doesn't come into play here.
You know, the longer it goes, they both won't want to get beat. Naturally, the first hour, it's going to be attack, attack, attack. But then I just don't trust either team at the moment.
Okay, well, let's move on and see Hull City playing against Arsenal.
Yeah, you know, as Delron said earlier, Hull City burgled a point at Burnley last week. Injury time free kick, superb free kick. Arsenal have got their number over the years. They've played 12 times. Arsenal won 9, drawn 3. You know, likewise, Arsenal played PSG, but I thought they're getting better, Arsenal. You know, they burgled a point against Southampton last Saturday, but they can't beat Hull, and I don't know.
Well, they burgled a point at PSG, I can tell you. That looked like robbery.
I agree with Budgie. If you see Arsenal, every game, their performance is improving. But as Budgie said, at Hull City, I don't think because it's very difficult to beat Hull City at home. Plus, they still have the caretaker coach, which he's doing very, very well, with that team.
Could the draw be the result here?
Yeah, possible. Could be. But with Hull City, you never know what's up their sleeve. They come back with a last-minute goal or score in the first minute, and they just park the bus and defend the whole game.
So you're going for Arsenal?
I fancy Arsenal. Yeah. These are the type of teams that they normally beat. I think Arsenal will be better away from home than at home as well.
You said so last week, and you're quite right. They seem to play better away from home. There's so much expectation on them at home.
And also, when you play away from home, the team has to come at you. A lot of these pacey individuals, and that's their game, the counter-attack, this tick-attacker, whatever you want to call it. Whereas at home, the teams park the bus and let's see you break us down.
Okay, Delron, I'm going to ask you this one. Manchester, they can't lose to Bournemouth, can they?
No, of course they can't. No. They just played the Champions League now yesterday, and they did very, very well. You see that the type of football they're playing is unbelievable. I mean, Pep Guardiola, what he's putting into this team, and the patterns of play I enjoy watching Manchester City.
Yeah, well, watching Manchester City, especially last week, Budgie.
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy that display much.
It was like toothache, James. Yeah. No, they deservedly won last week, so no excuses.
So what's going on with your beloved Mourinho now? Is he now got the bottle of pills next to the bed?
No, he's fine. I just think he's going to eventually work out who he wants, who he doesn't want. I said 3 years of disarray. Can't expect him to be there in 6 weeks to rectify it. But
we're bankering Man City.
Oh, it has to be.
Of course.
Okay, Everton, Middlesbrough. Everton have been playing good footy.
Yeah. Second half against Sunderland on Monday night, they're outstanding. I know Sunderland's back four went AWOL, but good side Everton. Yeah, told you I backed them to win the League Cup, but I think they'll murder Middlesbrough.
And they're well coached, Delron. They seem to have structures in place. Everton
at home, as you said, they are very well coached. They have a good coach. I mean, just the team itself, it's very difficult to beat them at home. If you see on the table, they're 2 points behind Manchester City, so it's not far from if getting to first place.
Well, they're one of the unbeaten teams in the
at the
league.
moment. Yeah.
We got to go with them to win this one.
Definitely.
Okay. Watford, Man United. Well, I'm going to ask you, Delron, first because Budgie, I don't want him to be embarrassed. Watford could be a problem. They played quite well. They played well last week.
They did. I mean, they were 2-0 down when they played last week, and then they won 4-2 coming back, which was unbelievable. And playing against Manchester United, it was a shock for Manchester United last week against Man City. So I'm sure they're going to pick up their socks and try to get a win out of Watford. So I think playing away, they'll probably win this game.
You're certain they'll win it?
Well, I'm hoping so. I just hope Watford play as badly against United in the first half as they did against Arsenal 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Watford, for me, it's a freebie for them. They're not expected to win. They get a point, it's a good result. You'll see later in the show, I've gone for goals here. They score a goal. Their strength is attacking. Defensively, they're poor. But at home, this will be a good game. Last year, Schweinsteiger scored in the last minute. United beat them 2-1. So, we're all on United, obviously, but this won't be easy.
Okay, Southampton, Swansea, both South Coast teams.
Yeah, shame. Everything's been going wrong for Southampton. You know, they got burgled by Arsenal last week. I just get worried about these teams that don't seem to win. Yeah, they haven't won this year. They're 2 home games. They drew with Sunderland and they drew with somebody else. Forget it was. Yeah, they've played well, but they just haven't got the results. Swansea last week were fortunate to get a point against Chelsea. This won't be easy for Sunderland.
What do you say about the stats here?
Well, Swansea, last season, 2 meetings with Southampton away. They never beat them, they lost. So the stats say it's very difficult. When Swansea always go to Southampton, they can't win.
Didn't Southampton play well last week?
Against Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah, they did.
They looked pretty good.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I thought that this was a Southampton home win, this game.
You know, Southampton have done well. They played United away, and I thought they played quite well. They played Arsenal away, performed well. But it's against the lesser teams. Now, last year they were murdering these lesser teams. This year they haven't. So I get worried. Yeah, they're going to beat somebody 3 or 4. This could well be the week.
Yeah.
But until they do, you know, I'm not with them.
Okay. Crystal Palace, Stoke City. Both look under a bit of pressure.
Well, Benteke came back and scored last week. You know, he's going to change that team. You know, I fancied them. I watched Stoke with Laff last week. They were invisible in the second half. The moment Tottenham scored 1 goal, they had 1 or 2 chances to get back to equalise. And the moment Spurs scored the second, it could have been 8 or 9 at the death. Haven't been impressed. You know, we've mentioned it every show. The goalkeeper, Shea Given in goals, I think he's past his best. And with Benteke, they're just going to put it straight on him. And I fancy Crystal Palace here.
With Stoke City, I feel it for Mark Hughes because he started on a bad foot. 3 games, 3 losses, and he's sitting bottom of the league.
And he's actually quite a good, I think he's a good coach, Mark Hughes.
Yes,
he did well with them last year.
He's a really good coach. If you see what he did with Blackburn Rovers back in the days, you know, I mean, it's top. It's just, I can't understand. I mean, I feel it for him because now the heat's getting very, very hot. And now he has to win this game. And it's away. Pressure.
Can he win it?
It's possible. I mean, as I said, the last 3 games they lost. So I believe all things happen in 3s. So this is the 4th game now. They should win this game because he'll probably play good under pressure, and it's away. It's not at home, so there's no fans putting pressure or whistling or booing or things like that. So he should win this game away.
Tottenham, Sunderland. Well, Tottenham seem to be playing some of the best football in the league at the moment.
Well, if you watched last night, the question is no. Don't know why they changed the Champions League. Champions League game to Wembley.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal did that in the 90s, and they couldn't win at Wembley. But yeah, they can't beat Sunderland. Well, crikey, come on. You know, then what are their Champions League aspirations again? I know they played Wednesday night, so there's ample time to recover. You know, Spurs for me should slaughter them.
Dalron, the stats say the same?
Yeah, they do. As Budgie said, Tottenham play Champions League, so they're going to probably be tired and come into this game. So there's a chance of Sunderland to probably also get a point out of this game.
Are Sunderland good enough?
They are good enough. It's just that they also didn't start well on a good foot in the league. And if the stats will tell you, they lost 3 home games. So it's also pressure for David Moyes. So you got to pick up your socks and win.
Well, those are the Premier League games. We move on to MT8 semi-final, 2nd leg, and Cape Town City, Bidvest. Cape Town City got a bit to do at home.
Yeah, they got slaughtered last week, made a couple of defensive mistakes, and Wits punished them. I always get worried about these games, James. He's 3-0 up. You know, Gavin Hunt obviously is going to still in his guys. We've got to go and attack. But I just think it's a mental thing. You're going to go there the first 20, 30 minutes, just give nothing away, and let Cape Town City force their hand. If City score first, then the game's on. But from what I saw last week, the longer it goes on, I think Wits will pick them off. Yeah.
I agree with Budgie. The first leg, Wits played unbelievable good. 3 goals, you know, made it more difficult for Cape Town City. Now they're playing in Cape Town. So if Cape Town gets a score in the first 10 minutes, then the pressure will be very high for Bidvest. But if as the time goes past, and then they don't score, it's going to be very difficult to get that equaliser.
Because they've got to score, they go win by 3 to have a penalty kick in the shootout.
Yeah. Or extra time
penalty shootout.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for them because Gavin Hunt's probably the best coach in the league apart from Dalron.
there's expectancy about the Bafana job. If he doesn't get it, well, I don't know what's going on. But I like him. He's enthusiastic and he's organised. He's a right back, so he'll make sure they don't give anything away, especially early on. Yeah.
Would you go low goals in this game?
Should be, yeah. But you know what happens? Cape Town score one, and then it's going to be end to end. They've got nothing to lose, Cape Town.
But even if Cape Town score one, they just park the bus and sit and wait.
But it's a mental thing. One, and every player start looking at each other. What's going on here? And
Well, if I was...
you guys know you soccer players.
If I very tinkler, I have nothing to lose. You're 3-0 down already. Go out there and, counter-attack. Have a go, yeah.
That's why soccer is such fun and so interesting to watch.
It is.
Delron, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining us.
My
we're
pleasure.
going to go into the Soccer Sixes and we'll be back.
what time?
Well, we're back with the Soccer Sixes, and Budgie, it looks like a bet we can win this weekend. And as I said at the start of the show, guys are winning money on your bets, which is very good. Let's go and keep the ball rolling. But this does look like a good start.
Yeah, Paul, I'm James, sorry. I've gone to the three bankers you can see. I think Arsenal, Man City and Everton should all win. I know people will look at me and think I'm a complete nutcase going 1-2-3 with Leicester. If you want to spend 108 Rand, take the Burnley one out, but I'll go all three. It's for 162 Rand, three bankers, three fields. Look for the upset and hopefully you get one.
The only way to catch big pick sixes is to have fields in.
Yeah.
And the only way to catch big soccer sixes or soccer 10s or soccer 13s is to have a field in, because that's if you find the right result, the right race to have a result in, the right game to have a result in, that's where you win money.
Well, that's why when I looked at the Perm, that's the only game that I really think there could be an upset. I don't see Arsenal losing to Hull, Everton to Middlesbrough, Man City to Bournemouth. I know some of the bigger players are more than like it, a smaller Perm numerous times. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't blame them if they did. But that's my upset for the weekend.
Cape Town City, Wits, it's interesting that you go all three.
It's a game that Wits don't want to get beat naturally. Cape Town City can have a full go. They've got nothing to lose, as Delron said. Any result wouldn't surprise me there. Man City, Cape Town City are going to come out flying. Wits catch them early, they could drop their heads, and Wits go and win comfortably. But if they do score, the game's on. So either result wouldn't surprise me next year.
These soccer sixes, they pay pretty well. You can get dividends, they're normal dividends, 2.5 grand, 3 grand. That
It's
sort of
£6
thing.
a line.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. So if you get one good result, you're guaranteed 4 figures.
Okay, let's move on and go and have a look at the soccer 10 for the weekend. And this is the Saturday soccer 10. And here you've gone 3-4 bankers as well.
Yep. Yeah, the first game, Bristol City against Derby. Derby have scored 1 goal in 7 games. So until that changes, I can't be with them. I know you question Huddersfield. They're top of the league against QPR. Huddersfield done great at home. QPR got beat 6-0 by Newcastle. They said, I watched QPR last year play Preston at Preston last year, and they just put the bus up early and try to catch them on the break. And I think he'll do the same thing this week. You lose 6-0 at home. It's embarrassing, let alone for you, but for your fans. So expect a reaction on that game.
Arsenal, Hull City, you said Arsenal are the right ones. Ipswich, Villa.
Aston Villa have signed some good attacking players for that division, but they can't defend. They've conceded injury time goals their last 2 home games. One was to Nottingham Forest and one was to Brentford last night. In the Soccer 13, you'll see I've gone for Aston Villa, but any result wouldn't surprise me there. That championship is a tough league to figure out.
And Leicester Burnley we've discussed already. Yep. So let's move on to the next page and see what we got there. Manchester City, Bournemouth.
Must be.
And Nottingham Forest, Norwich.
Well, Nottingham Forest are the 3rd highest goal scorers in the league, but they've also conceded the joint 2nd highest. So you just don't know. Norwich, I think, are the 2nd best team in the league. But the last time I went for them, they got beat 3-0 at Birmingham. So difficult to suss. But of the 2 teams, Norwich is a slightly better team, but Forest have won all 3 games at home this year. So any result there is,
All right, West Brom, West Ham, we've discussed it as well in length, and it looks like both desperate teams.
Yeah.
Wigan, Fulham.
Wigan have lost their last 4 league games. They've been struggling. I know 3 of them have been away. Fulham have cost me the last 2 games. They got beat on Saturday by Birmingham, I think it was, at a player sent off just before half-time, lost 1-0. Outplayed a team in midweek. They drew 1-1. But away from home, they've done well. Their type of style suits away from home, give nothing away, catch teams on the break. And Fulham are struggling. It won't be easy playing there, but I fancy
Wigan,
Fulham.
yeah.
Sorry, at Wigan, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've gone Fulham in the draw.
Everton, Middlesbrough, well, we've discussed this one as
good
well.
things, yeah.
You know, it looks like an absolute homer. We're going to the Soccer 13, and this is where the big money is. There any carryover in this game?
Not this week, no.
Not this week, but it's still big pools.
Oh,
isn't it?
no, guaranteed.
Yeah. So let's go and have a look. We start at Everton, Middlesbrough, which we see as a home win. Hull City and Arsenal is an away win. We've seen Leicester City, Burnley. Still got a nagging feeling that Leicester will give Burnley a proper hiding.
Could well be, but I've just got that doubt that coming back from Europe, and I've seen it for years.
Yeah.
So
Does it actually tire them out? You as a soccer player, does it tire you out to travel into Europe? You do a 4-hour flight or 3-hour flight and play a bit of...
I doubt that they would have stayed overnight. All
Yeah.
these big clubs now, they would have flown back. Now, if it's 2 or 3 hours from Belgium to wherever they flew, by the time they got home, it would have been 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So they won't be training on Thursday.
Yeah.
So they're more than likely train Friday, just a short sharpener, and then be ready for Burnley. Now remember, Burnley are desperate.
Yeah.
And they'll be seeing Maritz and don't push out so Vardy gets behind you. So they'll come with, like they did against Liverpool.
Come with a game plan.
Well, they have to. Yeah.
Okay, well that's a great result. So City we're going for strongly. West Ham, West Brom. We've worked that one out. You've decided to go 2 and 3 there.
You know, purely because of the perm, we have 5 bankers and 8-2 and 8 wins and draws. So of the 2, I think West Ham have more attacking options, better qualified to score goals. Where West Brom are set piece orientated. Nothing would surprise me, as the Soccer 10 showed. We went 1, 2 and 3, but because of the cost of our Soccer 13, I've sided with West Ham.
Well, Jay Ramsden will be happy. Huddersfield Town, Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, that could be a banker when you look at the league log.
Yeah, Huddersfield top.
Yep, Huddersfield at
And
top.
they're playing well.
Well, they got beat by Brighton in midweek.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was. I saw the highlights. Defensive mistake. But you know, QPR come park the bus. Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank. You know, try and sneak a point, especially after losing to Newcastle 6-0 at home on Tuesday. So I've gone the draw there.
Ipswich Villa.
Yeah, likewise, it's a 1-2-3 in the Soccer 10. I just like the way Villa, the attacking options. You know, they've got, for me, the best attacking options by Newcastle in the league. So if I had to side with one of the teams, I've sided with Villa.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the second half of this, and this is where we get interesting because we haven't actually chatted about them.
Yeah.
Newcastle Wolves. Newcastle
Certainties.
seem like they're intent on getting back in the top
Won the
flight.
last 5. I think he's worked out his team. Because sometimes you play players that may be Premier League players, but now you go to the Championship, it's a lot more physical. So he's got it everything worked out, Rafa Benitez. It was only a matter of time, in my opinion, before he did. I think they're the best bet in the weekend. Yeah.
What sort of price?
I think they were 6-10 last I looked.
Yeah, worth taking a double or 2 with them. Barnsley Reading.
Well, Barnsley are the top goal scorers in the league. They beat Wolves 4-0 away on Tuesday. 3 home games, 3 results. Reading's coached by the best defender I've seen, Job Stomp, especially in a Man United shirt. Well organised. They'll go and try and stifle Barnsley. You know, the 2 Barnsley will be favourites. So I'm siding with Barnsley, but the draw is a big player.
Seems like a draw could be the big player because maybe you're never going to get one past the Reading defence.
Well,
Maybe
you
not
know,
all.
they've done well the last few games. You know, they're
Will
unbeaten
you go
the last 4.
low on the goals there?
Barnsley, no. Barnsley are kamikaze. They're attacking. Yeah, just got promoted. They'll be in full flight. Yeah.
Okay. Bristol City, Derby County. Well,
with Bristol City, you know, they've won 2 of the 3 games. The home game they got beat was by Newcastle. You know, Derby can't score 1 goal in 7 games. Can't have them.
Sheehan Shaw better go and play for them.
And Blaine Hamilton too. There's a few of them that'll be.
That's a couple of those
Mark
boys.
Ross and co. Yeah.
Burton Albion, Brighton.
Yeah. Brighton are a good team. I think they'll be close to going up or being involved in the playoffs anyway. Their away form has been questionable. Burton have done great under Nigel Clough. Just a dinkum panel beating team, physical, smallish pitch, get stuck in. Brighton have got the quality. It draws the obvious player in the Championship, but if I have to side with one, which I have to, I'm with Brighton.
Did Burton come up? Yeah.
Okay.
with Clough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a soccer man.
Well,
through and through,
he was
isn't
when they started the club. He was the manager.
Yeah.
They came through all the leagues. He got them into the 4th division. Then I think he went to Derby, and then the manager of Burton got fired, and they offered him the job, and he went back.
And he's just brought them through.
Brought them through. Yeah.
Well, they're all obviously always a difficult side to beat. Nottingham Forest, Norwich City. Norwich
likewise,
best
you
side.
know, it's a 1-2-3, but I have to side, and I think Norwich are the second best team in the league.
And then Kalmar, which we see every week, and Osterkins.
Yeah, well, the Swedes always throw one of their games, and the thing that always interests me is who plays on the grass pitches and who plays on the artificial or the poly track or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Now, Kalmar at home are difficult to beat. You know, they play on grass. The other team got a poor away record, Ostersund. So I've gone 1-2 there. I don't see Kalmar getting beat as much as they're 5 points behind Ostersund's in the league. But that's purely because of Ostersund's home form.
I seem to remember last week we banked at Kalmar.
Yeah, we had to. You know,
Yeah.
it was 1-2.
Yeah.
But, you know, because of the size of the perm, you know, if you put the draw when it goes to 9.20, and where do you start, where do you stop, James?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the problem with these bets, is that, you know, looking back at my youth, and I remember taking Vernon's and Littlewoods pools, you know, when I was working in England. And it was such fun because you can take a whole lot of teams to as bankers and then look for a result. And the problem is that you look for the result, you get the right result.
Well, it's the championship, which is the hardest league. You know, most clubs haven't got money.
Yeah.
So those games, and I've watched them. As I said, I'm going to go back, I watch Preston. And we're a smallish club, famous little club, but, you know, those games, they don't give anything away. So it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to have to work for the points. Yeah.
It seems like coaches make a big difference too. Some guys really are good at that.
No doubt. It's just that sometimes coaches get too much credit when they coach the bigger teams.
Yeah.
Like Sean Dyche, I like him. What he's done at Burnley is amazing. But he'll never get the instant recognition because, well, what have you won?
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't matter that he's won his way through to the top flight and his team plays well in the top flight and they're organised. And that's the main thing, isn't it? You know, with the players that you've got to be organised.
Well, we spoke about Mark Hughes earlier. Now, Mark Hughes is caught between a rock and a hard place. He's got Shaqiri, Bojan, Anatovic, all these skillful players. Now, he plays them, they get beat. And they lose a couple of games. Now the supporters say, well, let's get the guys that can get stuck in. And he did that against Spurs and they got beat. So it's difficult which way do you go. But Stoke can only finish, in my opinion, from 10th and lower. Because that's the funds they've got. That's the only type of players they can attract. And it's difficult. Now, if he comes 10th, it's a good season for them. Some of the fans don't want it, but they want to finish higher. But there's only so much you can do with those teams.
Fans seem to be an integral part of the problems that managers have and football sides have.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got to have an opinion.
Well, they're paying their hard-earned to go and watch their team. And it's like the United guys I spoke to last week. They were distraught, purely because now they've got to go to work and everybody's looking for them.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part for the fans. When you're winning, it's great. But when you're getting beat, you know, you've got to disappear and hide for a couple of days.
Okay, let's wrap up and see what we've got as far as our best bets are concerned, because these are the ones you want to be with. We've shown a proper Soccer 6. We've got a Soccer 6
Sunday
in there.
Soccer 6
Soccer 6 before the best bets. Soccer 6, let's go and have a look at this one. This is Sunday Soccer 6.
This is Sunday's one. We spend a little bit extra.
Let's run through them quickly.
Yeah, the top is a Scottish game. Both teams have won 1, drawn 3 and lost 1. Nothing much between them, so I've gone 1, 2, 3 there. I think United will beat Watford. I've gone for Crystal Palace and the draw. You know, I like Crystal Palace, but, you know, Stoke are going to come one of these days. I just hope it's not this weekend, but I put the draw just in case. Southampton and Swansea, I've gone 1, 2 and 3. You know, Southampton, as we said earlier, are going to beat somebody easily, but until they do, I can't have them. Celtic got beat 7-0 by Barcelona in the Champions League in midweek. You know, there's always, they should come back and thump Inverness, but that was the game I threw the draw and looking to try and upset one of the good things. And Tottenham can't lose to Sunderland, in my opinion.
216 Rand, Soccer 6. Let's go and have a look at the bets for the weekend. And what do we got up there, Budgie?
Yeah, we've got a treble. You know, works at 9-2. Newcastle, Everton and Crystal Palace. You know, put Crystal Palace in, they were even money. So it inflated the bet. I just don't want to take a little bit lesser odds. You know, I could have thrown Man City in at 3-10 or one of, You know, so I try and get value for the guys.
Yeah, you want to win 900, don't you?
Well,
That's
900
basically
or
what
200, if
yeah.
that arrives, you know, we're spending 1,000 Rand with track and ball a
Yeah.
week. So that arrives, we're in profit again. The double, I like to get two teams, run about 14, 15 to 10 each. Bristol City to beat Derby, and I've gone for Las Palmas. It's a team in Spain. I like them, the Canary Islands. They're playing Malaga. I watched them last week. It was a good game against Sevilla. They conceded 2 goals in the last couple of minutes. So that's my, you know, value double bet. Yep. Then the over 2.5 goals. I think Hull Arsenal. I think there'll be goals in that. Man City, Bournemouth, and Watford, Man United. I think there's...
Well, you love that bet, and you've been good with that bet, and you like this one too.
Yeah,
both
I love
teams
this
to
bet,
score.
both
Yeah.
teams to score. Yeah, this is big time in England.
Yeah.
So I've gone Leicester, Burnley. I've gone West Brom, West Ham, and Watford, Man United.
So you do think Watford will score against Man
They
United?
scored in every game.
Yeah.
They create chances every game. You know, Igala and Troy Dini up front, they're capable. And they play with 2 forwards. Most forwards come, they play 1 up front, 2 wingers.
Yeah.
Not them, they play 2. So I think they will score. Hopefully we'll score
And
3
you're
or 4.
a bit suspect behind.
You know, I
You're
just
looking
think,
like you're a bit shaky.
yeah, the way we played last week,
Smalling
they'll
and
definitely
boys like
score.
that.
I think Smalling will come back for Blint. I may be wrong, but we'll see. But I just like the value of that bet.
Okay, and then the other both teams to score is Barnsley, Reading.
Yeah. Notts Forest, Norwich, and Birmingham, Sheffield, Wednesday. That's the championship. I like the championship. You get good value there. And the managers always have a go.
Yeah, they all want to win.
Well, also, they don't want to get relegated. Otherwise, they lose a certain percentage. So they don't go there playing for draw. They keep it tight, but they're always there looking to try and snatch it late on.
Budgie, it looks like a good weekend of soccer
Yeah,
ahead of
it's
us,
up so.
starting Friday night.
Yep, Friday and United on Sunday lunchtime. So, no, it's always a good weekend.
Well, we wish you the best, and to all of you soccer fans out there, remember Onside. You can get this program on Gold Circle website. Go to the icon at the bottom right-hand side, the YouTube icon. You will get Onside, the whole story. Enjoy it.